from CNN London. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is World Report. Northeast Australia is reeling from a deepening tragedy as torrents of water engulf Queensland. Relentless rain triggered violent flash floods on Monday. The water is now bearing down on the state capital, Brisbane, and every town in its path. It first ripped through the town of Toowoomba. At least 9 people there have been killed. 59 are still missing. Seen in 35 years. This is all unfolding some distance to the south of the area affected by the recent rains. Heavy rains, 3/4 of the state, has now been declared a disaster zone. Chris Reason from 7 News Australia takes a look at what could be in store for Queensland's capital.
This is the Lockyer Valley town of Grantham today.
We want to take you now to central London, to court in central London, where Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, is currently addressing reporters. Let's take a listen.
Yeah. I'm sorry, no questions. We've got to go back to a legal conference. Thank you.
All right. He had been addressing reporters. He's now heading into the courtroom. We understand, well, CNN's Nick Robertson's actually there now. He joins us now live. We understand that a new hearing date has been released as well. And we also have other information about more documents that Julian Assange plans to release as well, Nick.
That's what we're hearing. This skeleton argument that they're talking about is their legal argument that the defense will be lodging.
Southern Sudan are heading to the polling stations for a third day in a week-long referendum on independence. More than 3 million people are entitled to vote on whether to create a new country. There is a spirit of jubilation at the polling stations. Many people slept close to voting places, waiting for the chance to cast their ballot. Polling has been peaceful in most areas, but more than 20 people died in clashes near the border between the north and the south. The south could become independent as soon as July. Well, there are still stumbling blocks to a peaceful breakup of Sudan, like how a divided nation would split its debt burden. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter told CNN the Sudanese president said the whole debt should be assigned to the north, but a Sudanese spokesman says the president described it as a joint responsibility and called for the loans to be written off. He was reported as saying the north and the south have not enough resources to pay these debts. In another African country, election fever is also running high. Nigeria is gearing up for a nationwide vote in April, but ahead of that, a state election is attracting attention for all the wrong reasons. CNN's Christian Purefoy went to a Delta state to see how their recent rerun vote went. Well, Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz of Utah there, talking to CNN after the attempted assassination of Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. 6 people were killed and 14, including the Congresswoman, wounded in Tucson, Arizona on Saturday. The shooting has reignited the gun control debate in the United States. New York lawmaker Carolyn McCarthy is pushing to make it illegal for A picture of the suspect, Jared Loughner's mental state, is emerging. Those who knew him at a community college say his behavior had them worried before he ever walked into a gun store. CNN's Drew Griffin tells us more. Crime is a fact of life in America. The U.S. is the world's largest maker, buyer, and seller of guns. An estimated 34% of U.S. citizens own firearms. There are thought to be more than 200 million guns in private hands, and 300 companies produce arms and ammunition. Still to come here on World Report, from place of danger to place of learning.
A passerby asked him,
We've been reporting on the deadly flash floods in Australia. Now we want to find out what is on the horizon for the region. Let's go to our meteorologist, Jennifer Delgado at the World Weather Center, who's tracking the weather there. Jen.
Hi, Monita. Well, we've really seen another
Jen, thank you so much for that. Check out the smallest planet ever discovered outside our solar system. These artists' drawings show the planet they call Kepler 10b. That's Kepler 10b. It was discovered by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, but if you're hoping for any signs of alien life, you're likely to be disappointed. The planet is pretty close to the star it orbits and is considered uninhabitable. I'm Monita Rajpal in London, World Sport.